Hey guys, it's Ellen, and today I want to talk about the books that I plan on reading in the month of May. Before I do that, I actually realized that I forgot two audiobooks that I read last month, or I listened to last month. I totally forgot because I didn't have a physical copy. I forgot to talk about them in my wrap-up, and so I'm going to do that right now. The first book that I listened to was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and I found that this one was not really what I was expecting. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars because I felt like the story was kind of all over the place. If you don't know what the story is about, it's about after an epidemic of the flu called the Georgia flu has gone through and basically annihilated most people on the planet, and society can't really function anymore. But there's this theater troupe and symphony that work together, and they, travel across the country and do their theater thing, performing for different people. And I thought that was a really cool plot. I was really interested in it. I found that the actual story wasn't really that interesting. The sort of big reveal, or when everything came together in the end, I didn't find it that interesting or that mind-blowing. I thought that it kind of made sense, and I don't know, there were so many different characters to keep in my head, and then the author went so in depth with each one of them. I just found myself not really caring about anybody in particular. So yeah, this was just really not a story for me. You might love it, I don't know, but I gave it 3 out of 5 stars because it wasn't really my cup of tea. The second book that I listened to on audiobook was Every Day by David Levithan, and this one I absolutely loved. It is without a doubt one of my new favorite books. I absolutely loved it. I think I'm gonna do a full review on this one because it had so many aspects of it that I just fell in love with that I want to talk about it for hours and hours, but it was really cool. It dealt with so many different issues. Addiction, transsexuality, homosexuality, depression. The gender identity, everything was just so interesting. So the premise of this one is that there is this individual who is neither a guy or a girl, but this person wakes up in a new body every morning in somebody else's life, and they live that whole day as that person, trying not to sort of mess up that person's life. And this is all fine. Then all of a sudden, in one of these bodies, the person falls in love, and it really changes everything. So the writing was incredible. The storyline, the way that these issues were handled, it was just 5 out of 5 stars, no doubt. I loved it. I've never before read a book where as soon as I finished it, I wanted to pick it up and read it again. That has never happened to me, and it happened with this book, and I loved it. As I was reading it, I actually got online and ordered the physical copy because I just have to have it. I have to mark it up and note all these awesome quotes that I found. So those are the 2 audiobooks that I listened to last month that I totally forgot to talk about, and hopefully I'll have some audiobooks that I listened to this month and I won't forget about them. I kind of have a little bit of an ambitious TBR for the month of May, so we'll see what happens, but let's just get started. The first book that I plan on reading is Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I already read it. So I read this in the first couple days of May, and I will talk more about it in my wrap-up, but this one I had started it in April, and I finished it. I made myself finish it because I wasn't sure that I was going to like it partway through because it was sort of getting a little bit dry, and then I ended up loving it. I'll talk more about that later, but I really ended up enjoying this story a lot. Next up is The Unbound by Victoria Schwab, and I already started this one. This is the sequel to The Archive, which I finished last month, and I really liked. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because I had some issues with it, so I'm hoping this one will be just as good, if not better. I hear mixed reviews, so we shall see. Alright, this next book you're going to probably think I'm ridiculous because I think I show it in pretty much every TBR, and no, I haven't read it yet. The Boundless by Kenneth Oppel. I have to read this. Why have I not read this yet? Every time I see it on my shelf, I get really excited about it, and then I just never pick it up. So it's happening this month. Hold me to it, please. Alright, next up I have a sort of classic, modern classic, and it's Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. Again, another one that's been just staring at me on my shelf, and I think it sounds like a really interesting sort of dystopian book. And I really want to read it. It's really short, so I think I can fly through this. I think that I'll get a lot from it. Next up, I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer, another book that I really am excited about. Why the heck haven't I read this yet? I don't even understand myself. I'm really excited. I've been loving sci-fi lately, and I love fairy tale retelling, so I can't wait to get into this one. And I know this world is going to be really intriguing to me because people tend to love this, and it sounds like it's right up my alley, so I'm anticipating really liking it. Yeah, I'm really into the sci-fi, so I'm going to go for it this month. Next, I really wanted to throw in a historical fiction book, so I picked Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. And again, people have been talking about how great this one is, how it's a really good historical fiction, and I love historical fiction. So I think this will be a really good one. I tend to read not YA historical fiction. I tend to read more adult in that genre, but I am looking forward to jumping into this sort of subcategory of the genre because I think it'll be interesting. And last but definitely not least is The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. And I have had this one on my shelf for a while, and I know I haven't seen the movie, but I have heard that people love that, and so I think that I'll love this book. I don't have that many contemporaries planned for this month, so I think that this one will be a good addition to my TBR. I'm looking forward to reading it. Okay guys, sorry for such a long video. Those are the books that I'm planning on reading in May. Things might change, but I'm hoping to get to those ones that I have been really excited about for a long time. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!